Hey guys, it's Giant Munsties. As you probably know by now, Toho recently announced that they are canceling any idea of a Shin Godzilla sequel. Instead, they're opting to go for a shared universe like Marvel does. They're planning for spin-offs, and if you saw my most recent video, you know I disagree with this idea. At first glance, the idea of Ghidorah getting a solo movie or any other Godzilla kaiju sounds awesome. But there's a reason that Godzilla is so successful. It's not just that he looks awesome, or that he's an analogy for the atomic bomb, or man's blundering in science, or that Godzilla himself has so many cool enemies. It's all of those reasons. Now, it would be cool seeing a Ghidorah solo film, but what analogy does Ghidorah really represent? What is the message behind them? Is it don't trust a space dragon? Is it if a prophetess shows up and predicts that an evil alien dragon's coming, you should listen to her? I mean, there's no real message behind Ghidorah. It's cool, but it's mindless fun. Mothra. Mothra is the second most successful kaiju outside of Godzilla in the franchise. She's had several solo films, but if you look at the most recent series, the Rebirth of Mothra series, Mothra really doesn't have too far to go on her own. Sure, you can do a reboot, a reimagining, a remake of Ghidorah or Mothra, and create a new analogy for any of these kaiju, but there's no guarantee that they're going to be successful like Godzilla. Then you also gotta weigh in the reboot factor. People here in America were already complaining that Spider-Man had to be rebooted again. Sure, Marvel sidestepped that trap by mostly avoiding the origin story in this new Spider-Man series, but when it comes to Godzilla here, if you want him to have a purpose, you're gonna have to tell his origin story. And we just had a Shin Godzilla reboot, which was a success because of it being a reimagining. So now you're gonna tell me that you're going to reimagine Godzilla again, or are you just going to copy the formula? I don't know how they're going to create another mega successful movie like Shin Godzilla without it being a sequel. So you have to retread the same reboot waters here to set up the new Godzilla shared universe, which has no guarantee that you will get the formula right again. And then even if you do get the film right and it's another mega hit for Japan, why are they going to make a sequel or a spin-off to that one as opposed to Shin Godzilla? Are they trying to preserve Shin Godzilla's culture, its legacy, by not touching it? But then again, if you have another successful Godzilla movie, why would you want to touch that one instead of touching Shin Godzilla? Whatever movie comes out in 2021 or 22, if it's a huge successful Godzilla film, does that mean you're going to stop again and then do another reboot? Where's the fine line? What are you trying to accomplish here? You've probably seen on the internet how many people were tired of the Millennium series being constant reboots. This, while it sounds exciting, is really just another example of Toho not learning from past mistakes here. Once again, Ghidorah having its own solo movie sounds great, but you gotta remember, everybody who's a fan of Ghidorah is also a fan of Godzilla, but not everybody who's a fan of Godzilla is a fan of Ghidorah. So Ghidorah really can't thrive on its own, no matter how cool it is outside of Godzilla, unless you give it a new meaning. And what new horrific tragedy has Japan experienced that is not nuclear related, that could give Ghidorah or any other kaiju a new soulful purpose? Personally, what I would do is I would keep the shared universe, but base it in Shin Godzilla because you already have success there. I mean, if Toho's acting like it's that easy to go out and just make a new Godzilla film and make it mega successful, then why haven't they had several different Shin Godzillas in recent years? You know, why wasn't any of the Millennium films as successful as Shin Godzilla? So yeah, they don't want to tarnish Shin Godzilla, I agree. But right now, it's your only step forward in growth. Play your cards right, get the character development right, go ahead, reimagine Ghidorah however you need to, as long as it's successfully and smartly done. But base it in the Shin Godzilla world. You know, you don't even have to do a Shin Godzilla 2 right now. Like I said, make the next film Ghidorah or Mothra, give the directors time to recoup, and then come back maybe, even if it's 10 years from 2016, so 2026. Come back with a Shin Godzilla 2 then, after all the spin-offs. If you want a successful kaiju film, you know, go with, spoiler alert, spin-offs based on what, at the end of Shin Godzilla, the tail splitting, you know, make those all new original kaiju. And then they get their own spin-off film, and then perhaps these Godzilla-like creatures re-emerge into a Godzilla 10 years down the road. So basically, to summarize here, I will support Godzilla. I will support any of these future films, but I just don't want to end up on a 10-year hiatus again where there's nothing coming out because Toho has exhausted everything. Sure, we have a few more films coming up, which sounds great, but it looks like we're already on that path. Legendary may be the best hope for Toho right now, because while Hollywood movies make more money, it's really the same dumb fun that Toho is going to end up going for in a few years after they realize they have nowhere to go with Shin Godzilla, or without Shin Godzilla. And the only difference is between Hollywood dumb fun and Toho dumb fun is Hollywood makes more money. So Toho needs to keep Godzilla at Legendary as a backup net after this Godzilla vs. Kong film. So after hearing this, what are your thoughts on the whole situation? Do you agree with anything I said? Do you hate what I said? What are your hopes for the future? Or how would you go about directing the franchise of Godzilla if you worked for the Godzilla Council? Alright guys, Giant Musties, hoping for better news next time. Thanks for watching.